Hi, Miss Williams class. This is Miss Sam. I'm now teaching an elective in 7th hour, and I'm so happy. I think I may have met some of you all when I came and spoke, but I'm so happy to be able to look at your videos. Everybody did a really good job. And one of the things that I love that you all did was everybody was off book, which means in theater that you didn't use your scripts, you didn't use your book. You knew your lines, you knew what you were saying. And you also translated the script, which means that you understand the story of Romeo and Juliet because you put it into your own words. So you all get points and a shout out from me for doing that. That's a big deal. And all actors have to do that. All actors have to learn their lines. So you're already building a great foundation for being really good actors and artists. So congratulations. Okay, I have a little bit of feedback. Block one, a really great job, brave performances. I love that you included stage combat. I love movement when it makes sense, and your movement totally makes sense because you created a fight and you used swords and everything, and I thought that was so awesome. Amazing. I would just say to slow down and remember to enunciate, to really let me hear all of those consonants. Whenever you're performing, you want the audience to understand everything that you're saying, and so you really want to make sure you enunciate. Sometimes you might think it's over enunciating, but you do that because you want the people in the back to understand you just as much as the people in the front. And we always use our core, right? Because our power comes from our core to make sure that our volume is always up to par, because a lot of stage actors, not film actors because that's something different, but stage actors use their bodies are their instrument, and your core is where that power comes from. So you want to make sure you just work on your projection. But really good job, brave performances. So good job, block one. Block two, yes, props and costumes. Yes, that was the feedback I wrote down on my notebook. I love that you all used props and costumes. So very cool. Everybody had a bit of a costume element, so that was wonderful. But I put yes, props and costumes for group two. I love that Romeo stayed intentioned and stayed in character the whole time. There was no, you can tell sometimes if an actor goes out of their zone, and you didn't do that. That was amazing. I love, oh, and again, I love that you put the play in your own language, because I know that you understand the play and you know what you're saying. So that's amazing. Amazing, amazing work, block two. And then block three, Romeo, and I'm so sorry I don't know your name, but Romeo, you were really using your verbs. And one of the rules of just theater in general, but I usually direct Shakespeare, is that verbs are the hardest working words in show business, right? And you really used your verbs. So keep doing that, because the energy is in the verbs. Because what are verbs? Verbs are action words, right? And that's where that energy in performance comes from too, sometimes from punching those verbs. So really good job with that. But yeah, block three was wonderful, and everybody in block three was awesome. The Romeo and Juliet scene was fantastic, and Juliet was so sincere and just gave a really beautiful, heartfelt performance. So yes, Romeo and Juliet, both of you. The balcony, you used props. You used your environment to create the scene by having the ladder. I thought that was amazing and inspired, So kudos. Yes, block three. And then block four, oh my goodness, that was so fun watching. And I have to tell you, you all did something that nobody else did. You had a lot of transitions, right? And what are transitions in theater? It's with different scenes or situations are happening and people are coming in and out of a scene. You had a lot of transitions. You had the most transitions out of everybody who performed. So out of all the blocks, you had the most transitions of people changing, moments, or people coming in and out of a scene. So you had a lot of what we call blocking or staging in your presentation, which is awesome. Thanks for going for it. And yes, red shirts with the C and the blue shirts with the M, right? Is that correct? I thought that was really creative and fun to see how you all use color and letters to differentiate the Capulets from the Montagues. So I always say that you either win or you learn. So there really isn't a winner per se, right? Because we're all winning because of the fact that we get to share in these amazing stories, because Shakespeare is really, really fun. It really is. When you know what you're saying and you really get into the meat, the heart of these stories, the fact that we get to play them is just fun. And so we're all winning. But when you don't win, you learn, right? So we're all just learning. I even get critiqued. I get feedback whenever I direct a play, whether it's audience members leaving comments or talking to me and telling me how they feel about a play that I've directed, or an actor telling me how they feel about a play, or a critic. So all of us are always being or given feedback, and it's just so that we can improve. But I guess if I have to pick a winner, I'm gonna pick block 4. I'm gonna pick block 4 because they had so many transitions, and transitions for me as a director are always the most interesting, sometimes most difficult things, because you want to go from moment to moment as cleanly as possible. And I love the t-shirts that Block 4 used. They were really simple but really creative. So I liked the creative costume design. Good for you. And I also liked that it was a huge stage fight between the Montagues and the Capulets. Really big staging, and so you all really went for it. So everybody did a great job. You really, really did. But if I had to pick a winner, Block 4. And I'll see anybody from any of the blocks that's in Shakespeare in Detroit 7th hour tomorrow. Okay, thanks y'all. Bye. Have a good night and keep reading Shakespeare. Macbeth is the story you read after this, right? Am I right? I think so. Anyway, good night, y'all. Bye.